have reason to be. Between the regular season and the playoffs, they have faced the Chicago Bulls 8 times. Each team has won 4. Almost every game has been close. In fact, through those 8 games, Chicago has scored exactly 2 more points than the Pacers. Larry Bird, 3-time MVP, 3-time champion with the Celtics, first-year head coach, and the NBA's Coach of the Year. Chicago's starting lineup includes Ron Harper, who was not suspended, but rather fined $3,500 for his part in the fracas toward the end of Game 4. Kukoc has started 4 of the 5 games, as Hannah Storm pointed out, so he might have been the starter anyway, even if Phil Jackson is upset with Dennis Rodman for arriving even later than is his wont prior to Game 5. Who knows what Dennis is thinking? Let's find out what Ahmad Rashad is.
I said in the playoffs, it's all about intensity and pressure, and they'll find out tonight whether this team can handle that. There was a bit of levity, though. Ron Harper was walking around with a cup that had $3,500 on it, which he was fined the other day, saying, "Can you help a brother out?" At last count, it was empty. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Ahmad. Well, I spoke to Reggie Miller before the game about his ankle. He said it's very sore. He didn't practice at all yesterday. He took treatment for 2 hours today before the game. He said, "I really don't belong out there tonight. However, it's the playoffs, and I really have no other choice. If this were a regular season game, I would not be playing, but I've just got to go with what I got." As for Larry Bird, today he called and apologized to Jalen Rose, told him he was very sorry, that had he been paying attention, Bird, he never would have let Rose run out there on the court. Bob?
Jim, thank you. And take a look at that note. It has been almost 8 years since the Chicago Bulls, with Michael Jordan in the lineup, have lost 3 straight games.
Bob, what will the mindset be of Michael Jordan early? Will he look to have a dominant offensive first quarter?
It's Pippen who looks to go to the basket, and a whistle blows immediately. Chris Mullin took a shot on top of the head in that exchange. And it's drawn blood, so Mullin has to go out, at least for a while. He's got Reggie Miller hobbling, and he's without Jalen Rose.
Well, you see Scottie Pippen coming down, and as he extends, I think Rick Smits comes back, and he actually elbows Chris Mullin on top of the head the same way he did the other night.
So Smits got Jordan in Game 4. He gets his teammate right here at the outset of Game 5. The man is dangerous.
Now, Bird told me at the start of the game that he liked having Derek McKee come off the bench right now instead of Jalen Rose, because he likes McKee's experience, and he also believes that McKee is a better basketball player and defender in this situation.
Game 5 begins as Game 4 ended with Scottie Pippen missing a free throw. He is now 14 for 29, less than 50% in this series at the free throw line.
Well, it's the one consistent thing in basketball, Bob. It's 15 feet, and the basket is 10 feet high, but it's also the thing you feel the most pressure on, because you're there by yourself, and it becomes a very mental thing.
1 of 2. Dale Davis. And a whistle from Bennett Salvatore away from the ball. Salvatore working with Bob Delaney and Steve Javie. Here's Jim Gray.
All right, Bob. Well, Chris Mullin is on the bench being attended to by the Indiana trainers. He has about an 1.5 inch gash on the top of his head. They're trying to stop the bleeding. When they stop the bleeding, he'll return. Bob?
After the foul on Scottie Pippen, the Pacers put it back in play. Dale Davis takes the high percentage shot, the dunk off the feed from Mark Jackson. Pippen pulls up and fires a 3, and that's way off, but Chicago retains it. Miller is on Michael, who backs him down and hits off the glass.
Well, that was very easy that time. Reggie Miller was not able to hold his ground at all, and Michael really just dribbled him under the basket. No help at all.
It's difficult for him to hold his ground, Doug, because he doesn't have the strength in those legs and with that sore ankle.
Jackson to Smits on the drive, rejected by Kukoc. But eventually it falls home, plus a foul.
Michael with the isolation. He surveys the floor, no help at all, and you see how easy, no resistance at all. Rick Smith's slow getting over there, and Michael with
foul prone. Luke Longley, his first. Pacers lead it 4-3. Michael into the lane, and he scoops it up and in for his second basket. At the other end, Jim Gray reports that it way.
Michael once again on that low block, the up and under. He splits Rick Smits. 2 easy layups for Michael Jordan. Then the moving pick on Rick Smits. And we see the big numbers of Michael Jordan.
Miller into Jackson, who has to walk a tightrope along the sideline. And a technical foul apparently has been called on Scottie Pippen, who was jawing at Bennett Salvatore.
That's pretty interesting because Scottie's not a guy who gets a lot of technical fouls. See the edginess in both of these teams right now, understanding the importance of this game. Whoever wins takes the series lead at 3-2.
Doug, this is a tough-minded Indiana team. You know, they remind me of the team of the 80s. You look at Scottie right here, and he's yakking at Bennett Salvatore, and Bennett said, I'm going to take control of this game early. Right now, emotionally as well as mentally.
Harper up on Reggie. Behind a screen, he fires and hits a 3 for Reggie Miller. Michael at the other end. You know he wants to answer. He spins, he fires, but doesn't have the answer this time. Harper clears it, gives them a new 24. And Michael will try again, and this time it's the result he wants.
He's gone to the same spot times in a row and scored on all 3 possessions.
You know, Larry Bird told me before the game, he said, no, Michael is going to get his, but they want to concentrate on Scottie Pippen. They want to keep Scottie Pippen around to about 14 points and not let him get about 20.
McKee is doubled, and he finds Jackson for 3. Mark Jackson gives the Pacers a 10-7.
Of that is that Scottie Pippen is always the help man defensively for the Chicago Bulls. If Mark Jackson can hit that, then on the closeouts, he'll be able to get dribble penetration.
Kukoc ties it. Kukoc, who hits so many. Pippen into the lane, left hands it home. 6:46 to go in the first quarter.
Michael Jordan on that low block once again. He has 3 for 3 from that position tonight. And then Scottie Pippen in transition. Derek McKee tries to stay with him, but you see Rick Smith screens his own man, and Scottie with the left-hand layup.
Now, Michael Jordan has come out in his first quarter with the mentality of scoring. And Doug told us whenever he has that mentality, he wants to go inside. Took Reggie Miller down there inside, went right one time, came back left, gave him the up and under, but then he went back the other way. You see he keeps Reggie Miller off balance, not giving him the same look twice, and you see all the shots that he's taken thus far have come in the paint.
See, Isaiah, what happens is when you score in the paint, it opens up the perimeter. And in the 9 wins and the 3 losses, you see Michael's been into the paint on an average of 6 baskets on 10 attempts. So tonight he's established in there, and then he'll step out and the jump's freer.
You know, right now, I think the pressure's on Chicago in Game 5. Anytime you come home in a Game 5 situation, the pressure's on you to win at home.
Pippen gets his own rebound. Michael wants a 3. Michael has a 3.
Bob, that's what I'm talking about. You let a guy, a scorer, get off with easy layups.
Pacers, so they give it right back.
That should be 5 offensive rebounds for the Bulls, not the Pacers. It's against the Pacers, but Michael Jordan stepped right into the shot. Great rhythm.
Miller, a little bit of room. Usually that's all he needs. That time he overshot it. Jordan skies for the rebound. Kukoc drives on Davis. Pippen into the lane and hits the floater. Scottie Pippen working against Antonio Davis. Now Reggie Miller takes him on a switch. 5 on the 24. Kukoc on the run. And he gets the bounce and roll.
See what Andy...
The Pacers have missed their last 10 field goal attempts. And they're 4 of 15 in the quarter, which now has 10 seconds left in it. Travis Best can't put an end to that streak. The Bulls have time. Brown to Burrell, who was fouled from behind by Mullen.
And it's going to be a flagrant. Bennett Salvatore has called a flagrant foul. So Burrell will get 2 free throws, and the Bulls will get the ball with 1.9 seconds. I guess the ruling there is that he hit him hard in the head and really did not get a play on the ball. It's a pretty tough call right now at the stage of the game, and you're going to see what Phil Jackson's going to do. He's going to bring his offensive players back in. This could be a 4 or 5 point swing here in the last 1.9 seconds.
Now what Chris Mullen would tell you is that I was going for the ball, but I couldn't jump that high, and as I went to extend, I really couldn't get up high enough to get it.
That was as unflagrant as a flagrant can be.
Yes, it was. I think what happens is the referees err on the side of caution in these games, especially when you come off a game where there was a melee.
2 seconds. Michael gets it off. And the first quarter ends with the Bulls in front by 13. Miller hit an early 3. That was it for him in the first quarter. Michael got off quickly and often. This is the NBA on NBC.
To the game, he's got 3 calls tonight.
Hoiberg now has to contend with Jordan. Which, as you see, is not a pleasant task.
See, that's not fair. You gotta fish, and anytime he sees Hoiberg, okay, I'm gonna back him down, I'm gonna take my time. What? Nobody's coming to double team me? I'm by myself? Y'all gonna leave him? Okay, take this bucket.
Well, how about this? There's 10 guys on the floor.
The Chicago Bulls have now more than doubled the Pacers. It's 33-16. Antonio Davis. Indiana has now...
Pacers must think right now about trying to get this to 9 or 10 at halftime. They have 8:38 maybe to chop a 9 or 10 point lead.
Longley had it knocked away, and Antonio Davis takes it. Best explodes to the hoop, and Burrell thought he blocked it cleanly, but there's a foul instead.
Referee caught him with the arm extended.
Burrell on the drive. It bounces to Kerr, who knows what to do with it.
Loose ball. Chicago is so aggressive tonight. All 5 of the Pacers.
Extending back to the first period, the Pacers have now gone more than the equivalent of a full quarter, more than 12 minutes without a field goal. Michael Jordan. He has 15.
Michael Jordan is going to always find an opening. You see him give the basketball up, always cutting, always moving. Sets a little bump screen there, does not stand, presents himself to an open area for Scott Burrell. Another layup for Michael Jordan.
That last foul was on Rodman, his 3rd, and now he is hit with a technical foul before Phil Jackson can get him out of the game. Dickie Simpkins coming in. Now, here's Michael saying to Dennis, look, don't give these guys a chance to reverse this momentum. Dennis often complains that, as he puts it, he has a bullseye on his back. On the other hand, he is almost by acclamation, when you talk to the other players, the dirtiest player in the league. Mostly that's effective for him, but a lot of it involves illegal play, and a lot of it happens off the ball. So why shouldn't the officials watch him more closely than they do other players? Smith's missing again. He's now 0 for 6. Michael made a move, then didn't know what to do with it.
I see Dennis Rodman pick up his technical from Bob Delaney, complaining about the call. So 3 personal fouls and a technical. It has not been a good first half for Dennis Rodman. It's been a great one for the Chicago Bulls. They lead by 19. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
While we were away, listen to Michael Jordan on the Chicago bench.
That's it. You can't get no way.
That's leadership from your star. Scottie Pippen has a technical. Dennis Rodman has a technical. He says no more free points. Make them.
And the blow came so hard and furious from the Chicago Bulls that they've yet to respond to it.
Smits forces one up and finally hits it. His first field goal of the night, and the Pacers' first field goal in unbelievable 18 minutes. Michael gets rid of it to Scottie, who banks it home. Reggie's on Michael. Simpkins finds Pippen. Scottie chases it down.
Another loose ball. Belongs to the Chicago Bulls tonight.
Jordan from Pippen. Sweet as you please. For the rebound. Kerr. Now Longley. Michael finds Longley heading to the hoop.
Chicago right now is executing to perfection. You know, you see Jordan's mentality right now. They're running every screen hard. Now you watch Pippen right there as he throws it out to Jordan. Jordan will square up, stare McKee down, and shoot it right through the bottom of the net. You watch him as he's backing up. I feel it.
That last play, though, was a great half than they had in 2 complete games in Indianapolis.
They got out of 5 games. This is the crispest I've seen Chicago run their offense.
Derek McKee, 5 on the 24. McKee shot blocked by Longley into the hands of Pippen. Here they come. Harper all the way to the hoop. Got it. Plus a foul. They are running the Pacers out of the building and back to Indianapolis to try to regroup for Game 6.
Now the problem is not how do you stop the Bulls from scoring, but how do you score against the Bulls? You see Luke Longley block it, and they pass it up to Harper as he extends the left arm to stop Mark Jackson from elevating. As Mark Jackson went up, Harper extended that left arm so he can get an extra boost off him.
A second consecutive three-point play, and Jordan to the bench for a rest. Smits to the hoop from Miller. We move inside 3 minutes. Hope to Jackson, and now Reggie out of the corner hits the 3. Kukoc in the corner with 8 on the 24. His pass picked off by Jackson into the hands of Pope. Jackson to the trailer. Miller blocked away by Longley, who was the only guy back.
Well, you see on that play, Jackson didn't really have the speed to go by Longley. That's why he flipped it back, and Longley made the block.
5 seconds to get it across the line, and Jackson does. Now he lobs one toward the hoop, and it works.
They're going to run that same play again with Scottie to the outside, this time off a screen roll. And a give and go.
It's a beauty. Plus the foul. Antonio Davis picks up his 3rd.
Here's Scottie Pippen now. You're going to watch guard to the outside. He hits, and then the give and go. Scottie using his speed and quickness so the Pacers cannot put their body on him tonight. Speed is winning.
15. Bird feared that 15 points by Scottie Pippen, and he has it in the first half. Now 17.
He equals 4 seconds. Jackson deals it out to Davis, and now Antonio Davis. Can't hit it. 4 seconds to get off the final shot of the half. It'll be Michael. He did not beat the buzzer. They waved the basket off. Missed it by a split second. Says to Pippen, that's okay. We each scored 17. We alone have more points than the Pacers. We have a 25-point lead. The team that trailed at the half has won each of the first 4 games, but nobody trailed by this much. The Prudential halftime report coming up after these messages. You're watching the NBA on NBC. And now folks are just kind of settling in and maybe deciding how they might beat the traffic.
It's a big shot right here. Chris Mullen wide open. He's 3 for his last 15. They need him to make some shots. Even I know you didn't miss any of those 23, Isaiah. Those were all Lambeer and Joe.
Goaltending on Pippen. So Miller gets the basket.
You see Miller cut down the lane off the offensive play, and you see Scottie Pippen goes up and just kind of, you can't take the ball to the glass like that.
Pippen doubled in the corner. His pass picked off by Jackson. Foot race to the hoop with Harper. Leaves it for the trailer Miller. And Reggie now is in double figures with 10.
See, that's the second time that Mark Jackson has made. The first time he made it, it wasn't successful. This time he made it, was successful.
Well, now an offensive foul on Pippen. That's his 4th. The Pacers have the ball and they're down 20. It was 25 at the half and 27 after the first basket of this period.
Bob, not to hype anything, as Scottie Pippen picks up this 4th foul when he lowers his shoulder, but one of the things this Chicago Bulls team has done all season long is lose leads. It's like they've lost some of their concentration. They've allowed teams to get him off of it. This has really been a tough series for him.
Jackson into the lane, throws up the hook on the run, and Dale Davis is there. Harper trying to bounce it to Longley. Smits broke it up. Harper recovers it. 7 on the shot clock. It's Kukoc with a leader.
That's a little European half step that he has. He gets in there and he makes that little floating shot. Tony Kukoc really makes that play very well. There's the offensive foul on Dale Davis.
Man, he hammered Kukoc, who was clutching his left shoulder.
Larry Bird very upset. He felt Tony Kukoc had walked on the play before.
I think they've called a flagrant on Dale Davis. He definitely delivered a shot. Chicago uses a timeout. They lead by 22. Here's Chris Mullen against Kukoc, who gives him a little room, and Mullen converts.
Now Mullen can score against Tony Kukoc because he'll be able to create a little.
Reggie Miller on the run. The tip by Davis is disallowed. Rodman from Harper. Dennis's first basket. Bulls led by 25 at the half. 26 now.
You know, Dale Davis just picked up an offensive foul right there. And he's hitting everybody who gets in his way. You see him moving on the screen right here. He's just trying to lay some wood. Put his elbow right there on Jordan, and then he's going to move and get him again. The time before that.
Smits. Mullen trying to follow. Harper shoves it back in his face. Here's a 3-on-1 break. Kukoc behind. Hello.
Now, more than anything else, Tony Kukoc loves to make these type of passes. You see him catch it quickly behind his back, catch Jackson turning, and look out, here he comes. 23 in white, MJ is in the house.
the house. Kukoc on Jackson, who delivers it to Miller. Reggie to the bucket. The numbers are reversed there in a most unappealing way for the Pacers. 74-47, now 76.
Now Michael Jordan,
and he did.
Now you watch Jordan running really hard, and he said, come on, Ron, don't stop on me now. So he takes Davis out to the corner. I'm going to lure you to sleep, or I'm not thinking about doing anything. As the ball goes in the post, boop, I'm gone. Bam, there it is again.
Turn around, off the glass.
When Michaels put a little X on the floor on that same spot, that's where he started the game. And it's like, I want to get to that spot tonight because when I get there, I can do whatever I want to do.
Mocking what they do at Market Square.
So he comes from the opposite side of the floor so he can get his post position, and Reggie gives it up. And now he's in trouble. The little spinning jump shot off the glass. No resistance for Michael.
Head for a commercial. Let's take another look at Kukoc and Michael on the break. Harper gets it out. Tony knows what to do with it. Jackson's in the wrong place. And Michael slams it down on him. Worth another look. In fact, it's worth 3 looks. It's Chicago by 30. And you're watching the NBA on NBC. In the lineup with a 26-point lead. Kukoc has room and has the hoop.
Again, I think Phil Jackson is going to finish this quarter out strong the last 2 minutes. That's some of the offense, Bob, that we saw in Market Square, where there would be penetration and Smits would slide out on that baseline, so when the big man helped, they could find him and he could make that little open jump shot.
Scotty flips it out to Kukoc. Rodman to Michael, an open 3, and he has 27.
See, that's the beauty of the triangle. Once they get tempo controls the game. They spread you out on the floor. They keep the spacing. You make mistakes because you overexert yourself defensively, and they start picking you apart.
And now they take it away again. Here's Michael to Kukoc, and the lead is 31.
Indiana is saying, what in the world has hit us tonight? 87-56.
And they come to their feet at the United Center in complete appreciation of the performance put on by the Bulls tonight. Pippen swats it right back at Jackson's face. Michael from half court. The way things have gone tonight, it wouldn't have been that surprising had he made it. The whole series and the whole season series between these teams has been so close. And then from out of nowhere, it's the Bulls by 31. Back after these words from your local station. This is the NBA on NBC. 32 of the 36 minutes.
The Bulls had more points at half than the Pacers have at the end of the third quarter. That's how dominant they have been tonight, 57-56.
And Pippen adds 2 more on the reverse. They lead by
Chicago defense.
Pippen's troubles at the foul line continue. He makes just 1 of 2. McKee shoots over Scotty and doesn't get the roll. Smits out to Miller, and Burrell fouled him.
You know, Bob, we also talked about, was it a trend? Was it a fact that the Bulls were so dominant at home in games 1 and 2, and then in games 3 and 4, it was Reggie Miller and the Pacers that dictated the game and won both by 2 points. Now we see that the home court once again dominant by Chicago. Will this be one of those series that comes down to 7 games with the home court being the difference?
But you know what, Doug? It was a different kind of dominance. You know, in game 1 and 2, Indiana actually had a chance to win those games. In 3 and 4, Chicago had a chance to win the games in Indiana. But when you look at tonight's game, I mean, Chicago has totally come out and humiliated and embarrassed Indiana. I mean, this has been no contest.
Reggie got poked in the eye. They called a 20 to give him a chance to gather himself, and Michael continues to watch from the Bulls bench.
I think as he goes up for the shot right here, you see Scott Burrell comes up over the top and gets him, but right before he went over the top, his hand grazed Reggie Miller right in the eye.
And you can see a little bit of redness in that area. Miller has 13 points tonight. Scotty and Michael both out of the game with Chicago in front by his first basket on the breakaway dunk, and Michael is coming back in with 9:01 on the clock here in the fourth.
I'm a little surprised at that move, because the one thing you do is you set yourself up in a 25-point game here. If God forbid you twist a name like this. So, you know, Phil's rolling a little dice here that you know, Michael doesn't tweak an ankle or something, which could be a factor in game 6.
Yeah, but I think what Phil Jackson is thinking right here, Doug, is that we really want to knock the confidence out of the Pacers. We don't want to go to 7 games. So as much doubt as we can put in the Pacers' mind, right now we're going to try to do that.
And also he is 2 points from 35,000. So let's see if Michael gets 2 if Phil takes him back out of the game.
Kerr to Michael against McKee. Juggled it, recovered it. Now it's Kerr for the 3. Not missed a game since his return from baseball in 1995.
You know, that's what makes Michael Jordan so great. The thing that knocked Larry Bird out in Boston was injuries. You know, illness knocked Magic Johnson out. Injury knocked me out of the game. But Michael Jordan has been able to sustain his health and also sustain his mental concentration. And therefore, the Chicago Bulls are virtually almost unbeatable throughout this run.
Rodman leaves. Wennington pops a jumper. Gets his own rebound and thunders to the hoop. The Derek McKee basket makes it a 24-point Chicago lead. Here is Michael. Throwing one up on the run, and it's another thing of beauty. 35,000 career points, Chicago. Another couple of looks at Michael's last 2 points. 6:54 to play in the game. Chicago by 26.
Now you watch this Jordan to square McKee up, and he break him down and takes him left and then cuts him off. Flips it high off the glass. And you're watching the NBA on NBC.
And how you going to stop that?
Ahmad Rashad back here at the United Center in Chicago with the Bulls up by 36. Now, we've been having a conversation about Michael Jordan still being in the game. Time on the bench. Now, I just want to throw that out there for you guys, and then we'll leave it alone. All right, Bob?
Well, Ahmad might be in a position to know more than the rest of us. Jordan to Wennington. He's always had that kind of range if you give him a little bit of room. Hoiberg off to Best. Gets it back and hits the side of the backboard with an awful shot. Best connects on a 3.
With Pippen tonight, roaring around that corner and getting the ball to the basket. Those were 2 specific things that they're going to have to talk about before they play on Friday night.
Yeah, on the defensive end, that's correct, Doug. And on the offensive end, I think they're going to have to figure out a way to get Smits involved earlier so he can establish his dominance in the post if he can unlonely.
Indiana got it down under 20, which is small solace. Bushler just holding the ball. Now unleashing a 3. at the Horn. Chicago wins it 106-87. Michael Jordan plays 36 minutes, shoots 12 of 20, scores 29 with 7 rebounds and 4 assists, and here he is with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Michael, if the Pacers planted a seed of doubt by winning the last 2 games, it was certainly not evident tonight.
Well, they were playing without a key member, so we decided just to attack the people that they had, see who they're going to have to replace them. And Reggie didn't seem to have the energy that he had in Indiana. I don't know if the ankle was bothering him or what, but we tried to keep pressure on him as much as possible.
You told me before the game that the playoffs are all about intensity and pressure, and you guys applied both of those tonight to the Pacers.
Yeah, I was saying it earlier, we haven't been put in this position in a long time, and this is good for us, I think, to learn how to focus and to go out and do our jobs when we have to do it. And, we like to go ahead and take care of business early, but, we've had problems early, and, our backs are to the wall. We had to come back here and win a game, and now we got to go back to Indianapolis and win a game.
Tonight, it seemed like all of you guys were focused, and obviously the plan was just to attack the Pacers.
Well, it's very obvious that we were focused. I mean, you can see our all-around play. Everybody came out and contributed, and, when we play our best basketball, that's when that's when everybody's contributing. And, tonight was a good example of that.
All right, Michael, congratulations on a good game. We'll see you on Friday. All right, back to you, Bob.
Ahmad, thanks. We step aside for a moment. When we return, we'll hear from Scottie Pippen. Chicago leads the best of 7, 3-2.